No, it is not just you. Men are quitting the 40-hour work week. It is not worth it anymore. They are quitting the 9 to 5. They're quitting the grind. They're quitting the rat race. The last time I was in the 40-hour work week was many years ago. And you'd have to drag me kicking and screaming to ever even consider returning to it. I'm not anti-career, work or corporate or office at all. I just think the system is rigged and more men are catching on with this. Back in the day, when men went off to work, it really meant something. When they worked a job, it was truly meaningful. Their bosses were a little bit more respectful. Their work was actually meaningful as well and actually impacted society. And when retirement loomed, the office was sad, the boss was sad, you get a pat on the back, a nice Rolex, and you'd be off enjoying your latter years. Well, those days are over. You can certainly forget getting a Rolex when you retire or lose your job. Men are quitting this 40-hour work week and 9 to 5 because it's not worth it anymore. The burnout from the endless hours alone should be a massive reason. See, when you're burnt out as a man, you cannot function. The older you get as well, burnout can be very dangerous. It can be debilitating. You could be at home for days or weeks on end, months even, with no energy, even to get up and make yourself a coffee. Burnout mentally and physically from the endless hours and the modern slavery of the 40-hour work week, the 9 to 5, is just painful. You are working more than what they say you should be working. Instead of 9 to 5, it could be 8 to 7, sometimes 10 o'clock. And then when you get home, after the travel, after the train, the traffic, etc., you barely have any energy to eat. You fall asleep on the sofa to repeat it all over again. That endless grind, which just is never ending, but the Sunday terrors of the Monday that's looming, has debilitated and destroyed men. They're so burnt out that they don't have any energy even to rest. That's how dangerous it is. But you're burnt out because you're making the effort. Men are going above and beyond in their work to get appreciated, to get noticed, to climb the corporate ladder, which never ever happens. And the funny thing is, men are waking up to the fact that the wages never match the effort. So why on earth would a man give so much of himself and more when he's not being paid for the sacrifices? Could you imagine that? Imagine building a house for somebody. You buy all the materials, you grind, you work, you literally build that house, and you neither live in it or get paid for it. It's modern slavery. But that's the system. Work and grind. Impress your boss. Get along with your co-workers. Try and climb up as high as you can. Become CEO one day. It's never going to happen. And men are realizing they can actually make their money work for them better and their wages better on a lower salary with lower expenses and lower, cost of living if they have to, because they can provide effort in more cost-effective and more impactful ways. But the reason why these men are quitting the 40-hour work week is because there's no life anymore for them. There's no time for life. You were born in this world and blessed with a life. Where is your life? Well, let's look at the morning. How early have you got to get up just to even go to the gym before showering, getting ready and getting on that train, getting in that car to your job? Okay, what about afterwards? Well, you're going to be absolutely drained and burnt out, so you'll have no energy to get on a treadmill or lift weights. By the time you get home, when everybody, like rats, are trying to get home at the same time, and then your train gets delayed or it breaks down or there's a traffic jam and there's bad weather, you finally get home to either a family or living alone, whatever. What life is that? Do you have time to play a video game even? Do you have time to watch 5 minutes of your favorite show just to relax, to go again? You're robbed of life. And men are realizing this. I've got a friend who got an incredible promotion in his job and is now going to quit because he's got no time for life anymore. Because it's not worth it. It's a waste of time. See, loyalty to jobs and the 9 to 5, the grind, the 40-hour work week, it goes unrewarded. It doesn't matter how early you get in. It doesn't matter how much you ass kiss your boss. It doesn't matter how much work you do at home or extra work or unpaid leave, whatever like that. It goes unrewarded. You are a number. Men are a number. You are replaceable. Someone else will go in. They'll say, oh, it's so sad you're leaving. Oh, it's so sad. And within a week, someone else is in. You're forgotten about. And it goes on and the cycle continues. You see, men have undergone serious stress in their careers and in their jobs and in their businesses even. The stress isn't worth the money and the wages. It's not. Recently, I went to accident and emergency at a hospital recently because somebody fell quite ill and I went with them. In that accident emergency were men, middle-aged men, who had suffered heart attacks and strokes. Guess where? At their jobs, during their jobs, in their stressful jobs. And I asked them, I said, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And they said, it's not worth it. The second I get out of here, I'm quitting. My dad, who died of a very tragic illness very suddenly in 2020, texted me and my family, said, when I get out of hospital, I am going to take us on a vacation because I don't care about work anymore. And he worked for himself and he died. So even working for himself killed him. The stress isn't worth the paycheck anymore. Men are clocking onto this and figuring it out. Men are valuing their health, but their freedom over the grind. Your freedom doesn't necessarily mean being a millionaire, living in a mansion, driving a fast car, having endless amounts of cash. Freedom can be as simple as working on your own timetable for yourself or on a schedule that suits you and your family and your lifestyle. It's why I've worked for myself for 15 years. I could never give up my freedom for somebody else or something else ever again because the grind's not worth it. I would get nowhere. I would feel dead inside. There's no meaning behind it. There's no purpose. But I'm fortunate enough to get up every day and have done so for many years, doing something impactful, doing something positive, doing something that can leave a better legacy for me and could actually open more doors than ever working the 40-hour work week. That's why men are clocking on and figuring this out and saying, do I want my freedom or do I want modern slavery and to be trapped in that 9 to 5? A couple of years back, I was traveling back from Paris and I was sat next to a guy who was from London, the UK as well. He was opening up about his job. He hated his job. He was on 40,000 a year. And he said to me, guess how much my boss makes? His boss makes 4 million a year. And he barely works, gets a pay rise every year, is always playing golf. Meanwhile, this chump next to me on the 40 grand, who was almost twice my age, hasn't had a pay increase in years. Working hard makes your boss rich, not you. Do not fall for that lie where you think you're going to be as rich as the CEO, as the boss, as corporate. I saw it when I worked in my job. I was on a pathetic salary, and many other people were as well. But the boss, the precious boss, the special guy, who was, in my case, a very narcissistic, evil man, horrible guy, he was earning a fortune. We're talking about 5-6 times the salary, and he hardly worked. Working hard makes the boss rich when men should be getting rich. You should be getting rich. I should be getting rich. That's the key. That's the scam. You are like a puppet in the corporate world, in the 9 to 5. You're Pinocchio. All the strings are there and the boss is playing with you. Stromboli is playing with you like that. You're being controlled. But men who are quitting the 40-hour work week and the 9 to 5, they want not just freedom, they want control. They want to take the steering wheel of their life and steer themselves into a direction that is in their best interest now, not in the interest of the boss, the company, the co-worker, the colleague, all that crap. By steering yourself into that direction and having that control, it is so endearing, it is so exciting and so wonderful that there's no way back. But what else is there? What about ridiculous things like your co-workers and colleagues? Office politics in general have made work unbearable. About 10, 15 years ago, with all these woke laws and just people in general, Gen Z, all this crap, people are awful. Like, co-workers are terrible. You could be a traditional man, a man that just wants to work, wants to actually get on in life. You're competent, you're intelligent, you want to do something, and you're working with lazy idiots, entitled idiots. I've heard people walk into the job that they're working in at 11 when they're supposed to start at 9 with coffees and then taking an hour lunch break whilst you're slaving away, killing yourself in your job. But the politics is all about the gossip. Oh, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? See what happened here? See what? It's not worth it. It's just unbearable. You just want to get on. You just want to make money. You just want to do your job. And drama and politics and nonsense has taken over. But the system is rigged. It's rigged against you. It's no different. The 40-hour work week, 9 to 5, rat race, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, is rigged against you. It's like the casino. As a former gambling addict, I know what it's like. It's the casino. You think you're winning, and you'll get mini wins along the way. But what happens in the casino? The house always wins. You're thinking you're getting ahead. You're thinking you're winning. You're thinking you're doing well. But you're losing. You're losing. You're always losing. That's why men are opting out. That's why men are walking away from this. That's why men are quitting, because it's not worth it anymore. It's just not worth it anymore. So what's the answer? Well, I know what you're going to say. Well, I've got responsibilities. You don't know my situation. Well, I've got to do this. Cool. I get that. And I'm not telling you to be an entrepreneur. I'm not anti-job. I'm not anti-career. Not anti-corporate. Of course not. There are many, many times where I envy those in a job because they get the steady paycheck. But times have changed. Remote work has made things change. The pandemic, life, the world has changed. AI has changed everything as well. There are many men who are losing their jobs constantly because of AI now, because of cheaper labor abroad, because of companies overspending and not properly budgeting and properly actually planning for the future. So it's time to take control of your life right now before life happens to you. A job, JOB, transfers to just over broke. The 40-hour work week worked before to a certain degree, but it don't work anymore. And the smart man, the intelligent man like you and like many others, they are quitting. They are opting out. And they're actually, like I said, having simpler lives, better lives, healthier lives. This will impact your family, your life, your future, everything. And do you know what? I've networked and met many men who've become so much more successful in general and financially successful since doing so. Watch this movement. It's going to get worse. It's going to get bigger. Men are quitting the 40-hour work week. And I'm not surprised that women are doing the same as well. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell notification, and share your thoughts on why men are quitting the 40-hour work week down in the comments below. Book a one-on-one coaching session with me, SCG, in the description below. And to support my channel, please also check out all my sponsors and other links in the description as well. Lastly, do me a favor, please. Share this video with someone who you think would really gain value from the message that's in it. Men are quitting the 40-hour work week. Hallelujah. Finally, because the system's rigged. They're opting out. And they're finally taking control of the most precious thing that they can ask for. They're taking control of their precious lives. Thank you so much for watching.